Right, what is up? Hello once again. Yes, we are finally committing to a piece that I have been admittedly saying I'd be due for a while and then never quite um, got around to doing. I have a bit of explaining to do, obviously. See, this piece here is essentially based on a D&D persona we created a little while ago. But the whole reason for the creation of that D&D persona was to get a better idea of how my cosplay would look in real life for basically avatar stuff, but also just like general stuff that I can wear to cons, so it's iconic and recognizable essentially. I have a Minecraft skin based off this as well, which for some reason I can't use on Xbox because fucking Xbox doesn't let you download skins. Um, but yeah, basically, it's more like a visual representation to allow me to make cosplay easier. But also, I'm legitimately starting a D&D campaign with some friends from uni, and I'm going to play as this character. And I think as we go along, I'm going to explain some lore about them. Now, the reason why this is legitimately so late, and then give you a solid reason for this. This app I'm using right now called Critter. Basically, what was going on with this is, for some odd reason, but this is basically, what the fuck? This app is updated to a newer edition, right? But this isn't just a me problem as well. I've had a look, some other people are having this problem too, and there is fixes for it, which I luckily found one. Basically, what will sometimes happen with the Krita 5e update is that you will sometimes get a thing saying brush presets not available, even though they're already there. It's just a weird glitch where it thinks the stuff isn't there, but it is. All we have to do is go, I believe, into resources, into resource folder, and then basically go through the different resource presets which are above where the brushes are, and then I believe create a new bundle and then just close and restart the program. What you should find is all your brush presets should be in the side. What I've actually done now, you won't be able to see this on the screen because it's focused on the canvas. I've actually created brush presets specifically in an area so that I can specifically use the ones that I use the most, which is really super duper handy for someone like me who's very specific about the brushes that I use in terms of art. But yeah, so for the people that don't know, and I think I've mentioned this character a couple times before, for fuck's sake, the reason I am having to readjust this quite a bit is because I did actually do this on another canvas, the colouring and the outline that you can see here. For some reason it's this one here, but it got really weirdly corrupted in some ways, so we're going to close that. No, and then we're going to use this as a new one, but basically, yeah. For the people who haven't seen my cosplay IRL, it's basically pretty much like the helmet that you see up the top. I have that in real life, but I'm in the process of making those bigger horns that you see right now. I guess the lore behind this character, and something I didn't really explain when it came to like D&D presence or profile, is that in I think the latest edition, or like a sub edition, there is something called a Warforged, which is basically like a robot from the last biggest war in the D&D realm, and it's like if an artificer made like a soldier. It's like a mix of technology and magic, right? And so the lore behind this, I guess, is that I'm kind of playing as a variant of that, but like living possessed armor. Like I'm playing as a suit of possessed armor, where some people, I've seen some great ones, like it's an octopus with high intelligence that's trying to like act like a human controlling the armor. I've seen like a water elemental sort of person that's sort of like made of gelatinous water trying to control it, which is quite funny. I've seen like a Groot type thing where a tree has grown into some armor, and maybe what's happened is because trees are actually living, when it connected with the armor, it maybe unlocked like memories and stuff, and then it started to move around. My thing is basically, it's like these two, I guess, glowing orbs or eyes, or there's something within the armor that is quite unintelligible, even though I don't know what they are. At eye level between the two slots that you can see on the mask or the helmet, much like the one I have in real life. And most people would assume that the top slit is for the eyes and the bottom one is the mouth. No, they're both for eyes. The mouth actually sits underneath the helmet where it attaches to the neck, which is where I'm going to add teeth on the real life version and some rubber bands, so that when I walk, because of the weight on the horns on the back, when I walk the helmet is going to bounce and it looks like the mouth is talking, which is really sick. But yeah, basically, pretty much colours are the colours you can see in the top left. They are pretty much the colours in the non-binary flag. I wasn't conscious of that when making this character. I realised a bit later. It was like, hell yeah! And it kind of fits with me, if you know what I mean. For people who don't know, I am non-binary. So yeah, that's cool. Abilities and lore and story. I'm probably going to write this down later, listening back to the stream. Hopefully the music isn't too loud, by the way. And hopefully the mic is alright volume. But basically, the lore of this character is a variant of the Warforged, basically possessed armor, with some kind of elemental essence, like maybe amethyst orbs or rocks or something, that were used to maybe power this Warforged. But all of the insides have basically been ripped out. When they were eventually went to scrap this thing, something went wrong. Maybe something was like knocked out that was holding like core energy in. And maybe energy, like dark matter and stuff, is spilled out of these amethyst or purple or magenta like orbs, which kind of look like eyes under the helmet, allowing this sort of force to inhabit this possessed armor or like Warforged type thing. And they get up and they start to wander around, and most people they assume that they're some kind of knights in armor. They give them odd looks, stuff like that. They ask them for help. They're quite clueless about everything. And what they also notice is the runes lining their arms. Quite clearly some sort of Nordic language, but they're not quite sure what they say. I like to think that maybe they take after like the people that they look from, and maybe this is kind of like a possessed armor sort of Warforged that's missing like a certain piece, right? That in some way, right, they're kind of pretending to be like a dragonborn or a tiefling to kind of fit in a bit, which is why they've given themselves like artificial horns, which they've welded from like metal, and they've got like wings that they can fold in, because obviously they're slightly mechanical and slightly magic as well. And they've tried to give themselves sort of like tiefling and dragonborn-esque looks, because they weren't really sure what the differences were between the two peoples, because they look quite similar. And so they're kind of like almost a hybrid human dragonborn tiefling thing, essentially. And they gave themselves like mandibles as well to create some sort of differentiation. And they had like this golden armor, but they decided to cover themselves up with some darker colours, maybe for a bit of camouflage, for a bit of cloakiness, because who knows, like there might be someone after them, they don't know really who they are, they might want to stay hidden because they're not like everybody else. And in this specific town there is something called the Black Guard, which is basically like the hierarchy's force. Now the bottom image I can explain quite well. See, while they are like, I guess, a mechanical sort of thing, and I can explain it straight to the bottom and the bottom left picture I can explain quite well. As I said, they are this sort of like dark matter energy force inside of like a shell, if you will. And so with that, they can, well, essentially as they go, they learn to use the runes on their body to draw them to certain parts of their body, such as their palms, their thighs, their back, the sides of their head, and more specifically, their chest, and sometimes even like the slots where their eyes are, to draw weapons. And so the picture you see in the bottom middle isn't them holding a sword. No, they're actually drawing that sword from their chest. They're pulling it out, and as they're pulling it out, this sword is like coming into reality, and it's a flaming sword, so it's igniting as it's being pulled out. However, this does substantially put them at some kind of vulnerability, because the weapons aren't merely things that are summoning into reality. No, they're extensions of the being themselves. It's part of them, and as such, the weapons themselves are actually sentient. So when wielded by other people, they will tell that person to give the sword back to this original creature in case lost. The other thing is that maybe when all of the internal sort of organs, quote unquote, of this thing were ripped out, it kind of had a bit of a glitch, a bit of a flutter, and so now it kind of disassociates its more warforged, sort of animalistic side soldier self, sort of mixed in with this dragonborn tiefling in this world of magic. And so it actually has DID, which is the split personality disorder. One being more like animalistic and creaturous and monstery, often growling and snarling and scratching and clawing, where the other is like more humane, a bit more cunning, and more elegant in a way, if that makes sense. Definitely not humane in any way. They have a good sense of morals, I guess you could say, and yeah, that's about the lore we've got so far. And yeah, I was discussing this with the person at uni who's going to run the D&D, like be our GM or DM, Games Master or Dungeon Master, right? They're absolutely fine with it. I think we were discussing the other day, right? Some people, and this is the thing, like some people would be like, oh, my character has split personalities, and they have like 5 of them, and then when they're like in a tough situation, suddenly they're like, they get hit with poison, they switch to it, and they're like, no, sorry, suddenly I switched to another personality, and this one actually eats poison. That's not what I mean by DID with this character. Split personalities of this character, there's only about 2 of them. There might be a possible 3rd for like reincarnation purposes, because I want this character to die at some point. Because there's another thing that I have in mind, which is like another incarnation of this character when it comes back, with a slightly tweaked design. But basically, yeah, this is sort of like a Warforged variant being possessed armor, pretending to be sort of like a tiefling or dragonborn to try and fit in, and yeah. It's a bit of a weird one. I like it. Besides that, we're going to get started drawing. You can actually see down here I've started to shade already, and this is the kind of thing we're going to go for with this. This armor, again, is something I plan to make in real life. I already have the helmet done, I'm just making the horns right now. But the armor follows a very specific pattern. It's basically meant to look like organic scales, because while this is technically a Warforged or some kind of possessed armor, what they've tried to make it look like is the armor is like embedded into their quote-unquote skin, which is just like a thin sort of metal mesh underneath these plated things, a bit like an armadillo or a pangolin essentially, is what this kind of thing is, and then each thing is kind of lined with gold on the edge. But the reason I've got different things here is so you can see all the abilities. So you've got the sword being pulled out of the chest, the head, the horns will come off and they basically turn into daggers or a boomerang if you put them together. You then also got some sort of throwing knives that you can pull out of your thighs as well, like 3 from each side. And then from your back, what you do is you pull out 2 batons, which you can kind of use a bit like Daredevil, like throwing them at angles to hit stuff and like bounce off a bit like Bullseye as well. But you can also, again, put them together and it makes like a full bow staff, which I actually know how to use in real life. This character isn't just something of my imagination, it's something that's been sat in my mind for the last 6 years, which is fucking crazy. I'm finally bringing it to light, and I'm actually pairing part of myself with it as well, and I'm actually going to finally get to use it, not only in a D&D campaign, but this character, right? We're going to have this as our avatar in the bottom of the stream. The head specifically more likely, or this more animalistic version. Because what I want to be able to do, right, is have like a sort of visual representation of me in the bottom corner of the stream, possibly that even tracks my movements or like vibrates when I talk or something. which would be great because obviously I don't have facecam on when I do streaming, and especially for IRL streams when we're making the cosplay based on this character, to actually have like a model in the bottom that reacts how I react and stuff. Because I've got face tracking built into this laptop, so yeah, it would be absolutely amazing. So yeah. Without any further ado, we're going to get into this. We're going to turn the music up, and if you've got any questions about this character, about my art, about any sort of other art things we might be doing in the future, please do ask them, because I 100% want to do more art, basically. It might become a thing for Sunday, and I do actually have a bit of thing to talk about as we get into this, and we can get going now. Yeah, let's get into this real quick. So I believe this was just purples and shit. I believe this was just purples and black, right? Yeah, so I have a bit of thing to talk about. See, for the people who know, basically, over the last couple days, I haven't really been streaming like Assassin's Creed. I do the odd one on Thursday with Warframe and stuff, for the people who were watching, but yeah, for the people who've been here for quite a while, you'll notice that I haven't actually been doing the Assassin's Creed streams that I would usually do on Fridays and Saturdays. And the reason for that is, basically, again, I will explain to the people who don't know, because there will be some people who don't. A little while ago, I had a bit of an incident with the Xbox, and I'm guessing this is something a couple people had, because it's basically like, it's a worldly Xbox. It's a universal Xbox user thing that basically happened. And it's that Xbox basically updated their terms and conditions of play in that anyone who streams or does online play has to basically do a verification check, which I completely understand because of safety measures and stuff like that. The problem with that is that the account I actually play on, or used to play on I guess now, isn't actually mine. So the Xbox I have is like second hand. It used to belong to my cousin. And whenever I first got the Xbox, I didn't understand what Xbox accounts were, and I only found out what they actually were about 2-3 years in. We've had the Xbox for about like 6 years at this point, which is fucking crazy. I only found out really what accounts were like 3-ish years in, and I knew at some point I probably would have to switch because there might be like updates or terms and conditions. I just never really got around to doing it. And so, of course, a couple days or a month ago at this point, yeah, that thing finally hit. And so now what's happened is essentially, I can't play on that account or stream on that account, I should say, because I don't have the ID for my cousin, because it's technically his account, is what I'm trying to say, which is really quite annoying because we've done so much progression on that account, especially in Minecraft. We had the old world on there, Warframe we got pretty far into, and of course, on top of that, there's the fact of, why the fuck is this not brushing properly? Oh, it is. On top of that, there is of course the fact of, oh, it's because I'm doing... I've been doing this on the wrong layer, for fuck's sake. Of course, on top of that, there is the fact that, yeah. Assassin's Creed, sorry, got there eventually. My brain just took a long way around, apparently. The unfortunate fact with that is that Assassin's Creed, right, is a story mode game that you can't really change the parameters of, apart from choosing a different character at the beginning. And it's one I really wouldn't want to do because the amount of time it's already taken to get this far with it is just fucking insane. And we are genuinely so close to finishing it. However, the problem I have right now is that with Assassin's Creed, right, we've gotten kind of a point with the game where we've done every quest, we just need to level up so we can do the bosses. But the problem with that is the way we're having to level up is very repetitive, and it's not really fun, for, I guess, like stream stuff, and the way we're having to stream it, because I can't use the stream straight from the Xbox, is both not very fun for me, and it's just not a very good sight for you guys. So the kind of congestion that I've come up with to sort this out is that essentially what we're going to do in the meantime is stray away from Assassin's Creed in terms of streaming, but while we're not streaming Assassin's Creed, I'm gonna hop on it pretty much every day from this point, and level up every single time. And I will continue to do the push-ups challenge on my socials. People don't know what that is. Basically, if I didn't either level up or kill a boss or kill a mercenary or a certain amount of mercenaries in one sort of Assassin's Creed session, which would be the time that I play, then I'd have to do 100 push-ups on socials, which has happened before. It's a pretty fun challenge, and I might start adding it to others sort of games as well, because it kind of adds a bit of like risk to kind of what you're doing. Could be different stuff. Maybe if it's every time I die in Minecraft, it's 10 push-ups or something like that, or like every time I use non-melee weapons in Warframe, it's like 50 push-ups. I don't know, something ridiculous like that. But yeah, you get the kind of like gist of it. It's basically forfeits for the sake of fun that kind of add a bit more risk to the game we're playing. Yeah, I could do it for an event, or I could just do it on normal. It really depends. But yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, the more the point I was trying to get across is that yeah, Assassin's Creed right now is playable. It's just not a pleasurable experience for stream. And so what I'm going to be doing is basically, in the time that we're getting Assassin's Creed ready for the boss fights, which will be a stream we eventually do, probably within Shadowthon, which will be in August, which is basically just a month where I stream every single day, day after day after day. Sort of no sort of rest breaks. We're going to do a 48-hour stream this year. We did a 24-hour one last year. I've got some like better ideas for stuff as well, which will be interesting. You can already see how this is turning out, like the pattern we're going for here. It's almost like this dark energy is leaking through the armor. The Assassin's Creed stuff, basically, we're going to do the boss stream in the Shadowthon, which is basically, again, where I stream like every day. And because some of that is IRL streaming, and because of how I have to physically stream Assassin's Creed, we can do the Assassin's Creed stream within that. We can kill all the bosses in the game, and then have like a celebration or something, because then we're going to delete the game and get something new, like Stardew Valley or something else that's been on my list for ages while I've been trying to get Assassin's Creed finished. Because again, it's a game that's taken it's insanely fun to play, I must admit, but it has taken stupidly long to complete. It's actually fucking insane. But yeah, it's not that I'm saying I'm glad that it's over. It's just that, well, I guess I am saying I'm glad that it's over. It's just that I feel like I'm pushing myself off of the ability to play other games, if that makes sense. Like, I'm restricting myself from other games just because I'm trying to finish Assassin's Creed, which is really not a good sort of ideology to go by when it comes to gaming. Like, yeah, you should obviously play as many games as you can, but obviously try to limit yourself as well, because you don't want to overwork yourself. The problem with Assassin's Creed, again, it's almost like a burnout thing, because I've been playing it for so fucking long. It's starting to get to the point where it's less enjoyable. And that is a problem, because it is, again, a game and franchise I love. I absolutely adore the Assassin's Creed sort of, the games, the playstyle, the franchise and everything. So to see me kind of starting to dislike it is a bit heartbreaking, to be honest. It's not that I dislike, well, it's not that I dislike the franchise, I dislike the position we're in right now with the game, which is the fact that of how long it's gone on for, just because of how we're now having to stream it and stuff. But also, it's because of how I've played the game. See, what I've done, stupidly, is completed every single sort of location quest, and so now all we've got is the bounties and stuff to actually level us up. And the thing with games, and this can be every game I do, is we're going to 100% all of them. Now, that might be a bit harder with things like Minecraft and Warframe, because things that keep updating, which we're just going to keep playing, obviously. Which is why we have games like Assassin's Creed to like disassociate their space, so that we can kind of get away from other stuff. But yeah, look at that fucking hand though, damn! I like that, that's really fucking cool. And again, it does kind of just like emphasize that darkness that's coming down from the armor. Maybe it flows out more on the hand. because we're in this more like animalistic form, or maybe it's because like the positioning of the hand, maybe when the wrists bend, maybe more like dark matter is expelled through the joints of the armor. Because again, these armor joints, they're not just like plates, they are actual like physical joints in the arm, which dictates that maybe this arm can bend in ways that human and sort of normal being arms can't. Maybe it can bend in like a full spiral. Or maybe it can extend or something as well. I don't know. Again, it's stuff I've really thought over, but yeah, it's pretty wicked. But yeah, we're going to do basically this whole sort of purple darkness energy throughout the entire body on all of these, and then we're going to put gold trim basically on the very edges of the plates, which are going to go, so you can see that how I've done this is put the darkness actually underneath. So then what we do is we'd grab some gold, for example, like this, and I'll just do it on this armor plate here to give myself a bit of reference for later. With metals, what I found is you're actually better off starting in the darkest region with a lot lower opacity and just sort of like not really entirely covering it, but kind of sort of like brushing it in, just very lightly, not covering the entire thing. Maybe adding some scrapes and things here and there. And then maybe adding like a tiny bit of detail. Is it sort of like scrapes? It really depends what you're going for. If you're going for like a more of like a war-torn or like an ancient thing, you can have some like scrapes and scratches like this. And then all you do is basically you grab your much darker ones and you go on the underneath of wherever your darkest bit is basically. You go underneath like this, yes, for this one. And then, because this isn't just a thing that's flat, it's kind of something that's more like a sheen to it. It's more of a material. We go something that's a lot lighter, we go smaller with the brushes and the opacity. And we just sort of like dither in the lightness, not entirely covering it. Because while this top section is meant to be lighter, we're also not trying to cover the entire thing, which is what I've just done there. Fuck. But yeah, you get the idea. Again, I'm going to leave the gold till later, and it's a possibility we probably won't get all this done today. What I'm going to try doing this stream is get all the darkness in. Maybe to try get one figure done that we can then use for reference for the rest of the stuff. Well, actually, bows to me then, why don't we get the helmet done for this one, since this is actually the main piece that we're going to be using on streams. And is actually the reference I'm going to be using for the helmet that I'm using in life. These horns, sorry, let's grab this colour up. These horns up here, right? I don't actually have these yet. I have the smaller ones, which are these ones here, but I don't have these bigger horns yet. I mean, I kind of do. I'm in the process of building them. I'm in the process of building them. It's just that I've had a couple setbacks, and we're kind of just working through it, to be honest. Where's this at? It's going decently well. I'm hoping you guys can hear me, by the way. Oh, you can. Okay, good. Yeah, I did. Sorry, I just have. I have mod view. I just couldn't hear myself. It's because it's on mute. Sorry. Okay. Wicked. So we're gonna put some slightly more sort of beaty music on to get us in the mood to do stuff. We try like synth music. Usually. It's the vibe. The problem is I have to be very careful because it has to be royalty free, otherwise we get copyrighted, which isn't great because it means part of the stream. Luckily there is a guy that I found called Travis Savoy who does basically D&D music, which is sick. I'm thinking maybe this looks good. Can I fit the vibe
Nigel's
as well?
looking sharp in the double.
Oh. I voted to mute that. Sorry. The other problem is if I have ads on, which I do on YouTube, and I play it, it gets copyrighted, especially if it's like a big brand thing, which is annoying. So if we just wait for the ads to play real quick, we can cut back to the art. Hello, 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 welcome in. I am doing basically avatar updates, D&D sort of lore for my character, which is both kind of a cosplay that I'm making in real life and playing as a D&D character in a campaign eventually as well, which is pretty damn cool. And it's also my avatar we're going to be using in a lot of streams from now on to kind of indicate me, and I'm going to make it like vibrate and glow when I'm talking, especially when doing IRL streams. I'm actually going to start experimenting in Blender with modeling and 3D stuff next week, and hopefully making like an actual model of myself too, which should be pretty damn fun. But yeah, let's do this. Ooh, I like that. Make sure there's no ads that come up during, because otherwise we're gonna have problems. Wicked. Let's do this then. Right, so yeah, following that more like shadowy pattern that we have on the other one, I've actually got the helmet off to my left, so I can literally just look over for reference for this thing. I know what most of it looks like. Obviously, in real life, it's not as elegant as this. We haven't got exactly quality stuff, which would be possible with 3D printing. But for people who don't know, I make all this stuff on cardboard currently, because I don't have like pricey resources. It's basically cardboard I get from boxes I do deliveries for my company. They're absolutely fine with me using cardboard, otherwise it just gets chucked away. Every now and then I'm making new versions of this helmet, and we've gotten pretty good so far. Oh. Yeah, let's get started. And again, so these two things here, most people assume this is the ice and mouth. No, these are both eye slots. The mouth actually sits under. It's a strange sort of idea, but I like it. I would say what would be quite fun is trying to draw other people's D&D personas, maybe, like just from like random quick description. Yeah, if we kind of try and like position the darkness under the scales instead of above, kind of like emphasize the fact that maybe there's some like dark energy leaking out. And oh yes, I guess. So, in terms of like the name and stuff, obviously the name of this is my name, which is Dragon58. I kind of dropped the dragon bit lately, to be honest, but if we actually look into the lore of this, because this is like a warforged sort of like possessed armor variant, pretending to be a tiefling dragon lord, dragon sort of heritage just kind of fit in there a bit. I kind of want to like, I kind of want like abbreviate or shorten the name. Or like shorten those into two sort of things. I think this character will be called Shadra or something like that. So obviously it's just like a mix of Shadow and Dragon, like into one. Not too cleverly, but like it kind of works in a way. It sounds D&D-ish as well. Like it's a very made-up name. Again, because the brush prefix have been reset on this, a lot of them are changed, and so I'm just trying to figure out how stuff works again, because it's not entirely doing what I want it to do. That should be fine. Do this, just grab this color. This is what I'm forgetting. Just grab this color again and go over the whole thing. And it gives us kind of like nuance to it. And we can just like just very subtly work this in. And then you get kind of like this dark underline. And then the more we do this as we build it up, it will look a bit better. glitch and brush reset and stuff. But, like the canvas like used to like automatically magically grow, which is really fucking strange and annoying. I do get asked quite a lot like how I cope with just doing repetitive stuff in terms of art, especially things like this. By my brother who's a bit younger than me. And I can understand the question. Again, this is like the thing for I guess multiple people like in different kind of ways, but there's this thing called flow state, which is essentially just like getting stuck into something. Sometimes if you disrupt it, it can be more devastating than others. It really depends on what you're doing in that sort of flow state. But like once I get into this piece that I've been again hyping up for a while, being so like I'm really passionate about, like it just kind of hits with me in a way that is like unparalleled, and so I'm able just to kind of course through it with like with specific energy. Quite lucky to be able to doing this today because I don't usually get Sundays freebies. It's because the weather's nice today and yeah, they're out of football. I don't really like football is really my thing, so I don't go, but like sometimes I leave these streams or I do other stuff again. Like Sundays recently I haven't really been streaming. Again, I've been hyping these up for ages now, and I just haven't really got around to doing it. Is because again I couldn't not only because Streeter wasn't working, but also I had other stuff on, like work and things, and stuff like that, real world stuff. So yeah. Stuff does get in the way. It's just how life works, but yeah. And having that ADHD test as well. I've actually been diagnosed for ADHD. Which is sick, which is why I actually love the colour I'm using. And the thing is, right, the mask I have in my life, it isn't actually this purple colour. It would be awesome. But obviously shadows don't exactly work like this in my life. Because again, this is more like the Indian fantasy. The mask I have in real life is actually black. Oh, not black. It's just a really dark, really dark purple. Kind of like some of the colours we use for shading, but it's not gold. And again, these horns these horns up here, I don't have them like done yet. They're in the process. I think I'm gonna post something on social. It's one of my social links up here, so if you want to check them out. I'm gonna post cosplay updates on socials. Probably a good idea. Um, with Assassin's Creed, because we're not playing on Saturdays and Sundays, what we're going to do is play other games in the meantime, like Skate and stuff. Just while we do Assassin's Creed off camera on the side, so when we eventually get to the bosses, what we can do is then just go ahead and do all the Assassin's Creed bosses in just one big stream, basically. But in the meantime, we'll be playing things like Skate. I've downloaded Overwatch to play with friends because it's a great play, it's kind of fun. I think we're starting a Minecraft server. I said we're doing like a D&D thing on the server as well. We've also got, what else have we got? We've got, I'm not doing Fortnite. My brother's really out of Fortnite, but I'm not doing Fortnite. Fuck that. What we got? So we got Minecraft, Overwatch, Skate, Assassin's Creed, all three. I mean, to be fair, we could also just do some like PC games as well. I've been wanting to play Wild Sandbox a bit. There's some other games in here I've been wanting to do for it. We could even do mobile. So we could do fucking Angry Birds for like that would be a fucking dose of nostalgia. Fucking playing Angry Birds in the stream, damn. Oh. And it would still sound for Fatality Friday as well, because I guess we're killing pigs. Are you actually killing the pigs, or are they just like respawning somewhere? The dark truth of Angry Birds. Ooh. I guess Scatterday or Skaterday for Saturday, because I try to like, whenever I do streams for games that are like gonna stick for a while, I try to come up with sort of like, not acronyms, are they? Sort of like words that you like intermingle, or alliteration is quite good sometimes as well. So it's like Skateful Saturday or something like that, or Scatterday, where you like combine the words together, like a mashup. It's kind of fun. This is why we have Fatality Friday, which works for work. We also have like a Saturday, which is something like Skate. Again, it doesn't have to be. We could try it without the outline and see how it looks like once we're fully done, because it might look quite cool. Quite weird, definitely. Quite cool how you follow the I will be time lapsing this as well. I'll be time lapsing I've just had like a massive clarity wave recently. A massive brain wave of clarity recently for like type of content, for like type of videos, how to go about videos, how to post, how to stream and everything. And it kind of just hit me once and just broke everything down kind of just like immediately. It was very strange, but basically how VODs are going to work now is for certain games we'll just only do like clips and bits, whereas others it's just going to be like the full VOD. It really depends like what style of the game is. So like say something like Limbo or Super Limbo, which are basically very story-based games like puzzles as well. That will be a full VOD because basically it's I don't think it's not the game that they're whereas something like Minecraft, it really depends on if you're doing like a big build or something probably will just do like bits of it because you're going to see the build eventually anyway. But if we're doing something more like recent stuff, so it depends on what type of content you want. But yeah, not a massive thing. But there might be a couple of sort of things like stuff you do. Is that enough for brain rage? Because of how light it is already, the base color, it adds so much to it. Like again, I don't really think I'll need to add highlights to this. Like it already looks. This is probably the best render style I've ever done. I've got to be honest. Like other render styles, like I'll show you some of my other art, and tell you what I'm gonna do is put some of my other art on socials next to this, and you will see the difference between this and that stuff, because this is probably one of the best. The problem is, I think to myself every time I do a digital piece of art, because I think to myself every time I do a digital piece of art that this is the best piece I've ever done, because I always step up the level, which is crazy. Like it always just comes out slightly more unique, but also slightly better. But I think it's also because I take such a big break between the digital stuff, so that when I come back, it's kind of like I just blow my mind every time. It's really weird. I do a bunch of like paper drawing in between as well. I do some digital stuff in between, stuff that's off cam. But like, I'll do a digital piece, do a bunch of other stuff, stuck in a load more references, and then just come back to it and be like, what the fuck? How have I done this? And the best part is, the pieces where I'm like blowing my mind, I record them as well, which is really handy, which means I can look back on the process I used and use that in drawing. Just like here, you just for instance go with the light colour underneath. You don't actually need highlights, because the highlights are all there. It's amazing. Oh wait, actually this one, there we go. And something like this that might take like a good, it's been nearly an hour already. In terms of the time that's what, like roughly 2-3 minutes, depending on how fast I make it go. There's a bit of maths behind it as well. Obviously, depending on how fast you want this to go. I generally set mine to like times 7 or 10, depending on how much there is. I think anything that's like a piece that's like 4 hours long, I'll set it to 10. Anything that's like between 2.5 and 3, I'll set it to 7. And then anything that's kind of like in 1 hour range, I'll set it to 5. Yeah, the amount of time I spend something up is really dependent on how long the actual thing took. Yeah, this is so we go into how much you work in unison with the thing in the bottom left. Like compared to the rest of the thing, it looks fucking exceptional. This is a proper like concept art level shit as well, which is it's the industry I'd like to go into, to be honest. Not just concept art, but like illustration of like games and movies, and like the designing the creatures and monsters for stuff. Not only for like I guess movies and stuff, but also like advertisements and things like that. And while I do focus around like creatures and monsters and characters and things, I'd like to maybe branch into like architectural drawings and things like that as well. It could be sick. Which is what we're going to start doing in these artist streams. We're going to start expanding our kind of our depth a bit, I guess. Right, we've done that bit. Now the rest of this is a bit different. These bits up here, I don't think you see my cursor. These bits up here, right? We're going to do the same as these scales down here, but then the rest of this stuff at the horns and that's an air gap. before I transfer these layers over, I think I filled the this sort of purple underneath after having drawn the outlines, so there will be something to get. I think I got rid of the rest of the stuff. Yeah, because it was one thing else. Yeah, there was one thing. And then there was like where these things are going down. Very quick and like easy way to clean this up, right? If we go to, I'm going to do this very last, but what we can do is essentially if we go to the overlay layer, which is all this stuff, you go S like this, you can see that it selects everything like that, right? Because we've got that, what we can actually do is we can go select and invert selection, right? And then what we can do is go select and shrink selection by about 1. Grab this and then basically go select invert selection and then just press backspace, and that basically gets rid of all the outer lines. The only problem is because we haven't done this down here yet, it gets rid of all of that. But if we basically, what you can see is it gets rid of that all of that outer bit. It's basically just like a clip. It's basically like a quick sort of clean up act. Because again, what I've done here is taken these two layers and copied them over into new documents. They're all glitching a bit. But what we've got is this sort of outline around here. So yeah. Again, it's just simple editing to get rid of that stuff. I'm actually going to go ahead and save it. Bit different from what I usually do. Is that better? Is that better? The music is too loud. Okay, I will turn it down. No, I need that in my, what is it? So overlay settings. There we go. Is that better? Is that better? Is that good? You hear me now? Is the audio good now? Yeah. What is the audio? Let's do a voice test real quick. Oh, I see what you mean about music. Fuck now, that's bad. Oh, that's not even the... Oh, shit, yeah, because that's my volume, not the actual time. Why is it so loud? Why is it so loud? Oh, it's because I have to change it on the actual video, not the... No, I'm just thinking out loud. I figured it out. It's not the I figured it out. It's not the Oh, I'm good. Playback. It's not the it's not on my actual overlays. It's because what I'm doing is I'm screen sharing music through a YouTube video. Which is royalty free. Well, I hope so anyway. It says royalty free. If I get muted on parts of the stream for it, I'm going to be very annoyed. But yeah, cool. Yeah, wrong input. It's all sorted now. That should be better. I just... Is that better? It sounds better. I think music's still a bit loud. Let's turn that down a bit. There we go. Aha! Oh shit, I'm still getting playback. Damn it. It's because I've got my phone next to... So I'll put that on mute so I can't hear myself. And then I will... Okay, cool. Right. Wicked. Yeah. I guess a bit of explaining is in order. This is my D&D character, which is also me and my avatar. And they are essentially... a character I made a little while ago on another stream so that I could get a better understanding of what I wanted my cosplay to look like in real life. What we're now eventually doing is taking that D&D profile, turning it into a physical drawing and a character we're actually going to use in a D&D campaign, and then I've actually made story and lore for this thing as well, which I spoke about earlier, which I can just refer back to and actually write into a document, because it's also probably going to come up in game. And then, yeah, I'm actually going to use this, because this helmet I've got in real life, except for the horns, which are these sort of bits up here. I've got this helmet in real life, essentially, again, apart from these horns. And what I'm planning to do is use this as reference to actually build the rest of the cosplay, because if we look in the bottom left... if I... How do I get out of select mode? If I go T... I know it's just... I have to... Is it D6? Sorry, D6. I haven't used creature in a while. If we go to the bottom left, what you can see is this is like the full armor. And I'm actually planning to make full armor like this. And a tail and some wings as well. Again, the helmet is done. It's just the rest of the stuff. I'm going to make sort of like hands that are tied to like rubber bands so that when I flex my fingers, they extend like extended fingers. I've got... Oh, shit. Not what I meant to do. Oh, shit, no. Why is it deleting? I've got wings that I'm in the process of creation of. Obviously, they're not massive because that would be ridiculous. But the tail is generally about that big. It doesn't like flex like this. It can't like move up and down because I haven't got electrics in it. But it does like sway because it's like a fixed position, but it does sway from the side to side, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm making all out cardboard. So fun. But yeah, never really done art on the stream before. I was kind of nervous, but it's going well. You can see I'm learning new stuff that I don't actually need highlights because this color's light enough already. Yeah. Going pretty well. Oh. I don't know if you were here. I was saying about Assassin's Creed. Basically, we're gonna cut Assassin's Creed from Saturdays and Fridays, and do I think Skate instead. Because what I'm gonna do is all of the Assassin's Creed stuff kind of outside of stream time, and do a big boss stream in August. Of all the final bosses of the game, have a bit of a celebration, delete the game and download something new. Because the way we're having to stream Assassin's Creed now is not very fun for me. It's just not kind of, I guess, visually good for you guys. So I'm gonna do the progress outside the stream and then do the final bit on stream. There's just like one big sort of fight session. Okay, cool. I mean, Warframe, on the other hand, though. Oh, we did the Chains of Arrow quest the other day. We are seriously. I'm stupidly close to fuck. I can't speak. I am stupidly like far in. No, wait. I'm stupidly close to how far in I was before I had to reset my account. Is what I was trying to say. Like we've got up to the Chains of Harriet. We've done the Cuba stuff. We've done. I think we're literally at the old war and the new peace. We're literally there now. Like with Ballas, I think we just got up to the bit where um like Ballas walks into the chamber with Lotus and like peels off her helmet, and then that obviously goes into the whole kind of stuff. And then after that, you've got like the time tinkery travel stuff with the Tinkerer and the Clock Person, and you go like back into 1999. Um, and then yeah, and then we're essentially caught up, and it's crazy. I think I've said this a couple times before, but where we've gotten so far in about a month and a half took me half a year last time, which is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Not because I mean, I have been sweating it a bit, but not because I've been sweating it, but it's more. I guess I've been paying more attention to the story. We're doing more just main quests on the stream as well, rather than like the more menial stuff. If it's like a special event, I probably will do, but yeah. Oh. I mean, I usually just go solo. Yeah. Do you mean like server or actual people? Everywhere most likely. Okay. I think what's happened is people got really hyped up by what was it? Was it Varuna Prime? And then it's just kind of, I guess not burnt out, but it's taking a bit of a break. First, the weird thing is about like I've got a weird thing about Warframe, right? I've been playing Warframe again, like I said, for the past year or so. Over a year, to be honest, and only just now have I started to get Warframe videos suggested on my site. What the? How is it taking a year to get Warframe to be suggested on like my media accounts? What the hell? Like I've been literally fucking uploading Warframe content, and only now on my socials has it started to appear. Fucking crazy. Oh. Very strange. Oh, that is not what I must do. There we go. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just because I've been uploading it and not actually. Yeah, you may be right actually. Maybe it's because I've been uploading it and not actually watching it. You know, because I watched a fair few streams. Though to be fair, I haven't watched it on YouTube. That is true. I guess it's more based on no, because then like I uploaded like one thing of Limbo, and then I was just getting fucking bombarded with Limbo videos. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I guess it depends on like how popular the game is. I guess some things like more niche than it's yeah. Warframe's been out for time as well. I think it came out in was it 2016? But I knew about it before I played it. I just never had the ability to play it before because I didn't have Xbox Live. I think it was 2016, right? I actually did a study into digital extremes for uni stuff. 2013? What? Oh, that was PC. Okay. Yeah, 2014 for Xbox. Okay. 20, fucking hell. Jeez, that's as old as my. That's nearly as old as my brother. Damn. Okay. Oh my god. It's nearly as old as the London Olympics. Damn. Wow. I feel old all the time. That's really fucking set me back. Damn. You have a DNI? Why? Have you been like blacklisted or something? When do we even have a DNI? You can probably change it in settings, I'm not sure. Is it like the online, offline, do not disturb? Like icon that you can change in like some settings of websites? Is it like a social thing? Or... Unless it's like a mobile thing, I'm not sure. I don't really know too much about logistics of that kind of stuff. Aha, here we go. Right, it is either a bug or... Yeah, okay, so I was slightly right. It's because of crossplay. I was slightly right, yeah. It's because of crossplay functions. I think it is because of... Yeah. I don't know why it would be because of that, but it's apparently what it is. I just had a look on the Warframe web. You can play with... Oh, so you can jump in, but people don't... Huh. Strange. It might be a server thing, I'm not sure. Again, I do like the more like arty stuff with games. I don't really like look into like the logistics of digital and servers and stuff. I'm not entirely like clueless, but I guess you're not like completely locked off. I guess you can still hop into games with people. I mean, to be fair, I sometimes like prefer doing missions without people there because either like stuff will get done immediately or like either will ruin the fun or I just like. The problem is some people jump in and they'll just be really fucking annoying. Like they'll expect you to do everything else while they just stand there. It's really, oh. Right. Okay, so I've got my gills down. I've done the back. How am I going to do the top of this? Oh no, this goes up, doesn't it? Yeah. I forgot this actually just spins around. We're going to right quick. Just completely gave up. I've just had a random thought. And this has sparked as well. I just completely gave up on my societies at uni. Like, I think I was part of painting society. I don't know. I didn't give up. That's a bad word. It's a bad use of words. I didn't exactly give up on them. It's just, I guess deadlines got in the way and kind of forgot about them. To be fair, they never really kind of like, they disbanded a bit as well. So, yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, but this kind of pattern just continues up round, like with the rest of these. That's the top one there. I'm loving how this is turning out. And again, to actually have this thing finished in real life with this sort of picture on the side. I can even print this, I could print this thing off as a sticker as well. Should be sick. Oh yes, I've been using the Stylex skin quite a lot, by the way. Honestly, you didn't have to, but I do want to say, like, again, a massive thanks. It's wicked. I fucking love Aztec and Mayan stuff too. Bench, what are you doing? What are you doing? Got a dog on my bed. It's fucking just scratching the. Shall I dig a hole in my bed? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you digging a hole in my bed? Don't look at me like that. Got a Labrador downstairs as well. I think she's asleep in her basket. Just looking after them for friends. And then, yeah. Dog on my bed's our cousins. Staying over for a bit. My cousin's running a half marathon actually. Oh shit, that reminds me, yeah. I'm planning to run the London Marathon next year, which will be pretty awesome. I'll start training, and start doing hikes, I'm gonna start running and stuff. Possibility for filming as well. I probably do it for charity too. Mainly because there's a cause that has affected a bit of my family, quite a bit. So yeah. And I think that'd be quite fun. There we go, cool. Aha! This thing is looking so cool! Ah! Oh my god, I'm loving how this is turning out. I did not think we'd get this like fucking like excited about, like amped up about doing this. This is sick! This is so fucking cool! Ah! Oh my god, it looks awesome! It looks so fucking. And the best part is right. This is just like this is genuine stuff. I draw out of my imagination, so this has all just come out of my mind. Like this isn't like I don't use reference image. The problem is I can't trust Pinterest anymore because it's just full of fucking AI shit. But like. Obvious, all the printer explorers before like AI was a thing, I still have saved and they don't have AI on them. But like, I don't use reference when I draw stuff, especially on digital, because it's so much fun. And my brain is like a sponge for references, and it's really cool. Oh, that's fine. To be honest, I didn't say much in between. But yeah, my brain is like a sponge for references when it comes to art, and like it's almost like I can subconsciously use reference without having to actually look at something. It's like my brain like does a random sort of lottery machine of like the lucky draw stuff, except it's like about 10 to 20 like different slots, and they all just get mashed into one image, and it's really strange. But yeah, and then you get something like this. And then when it comes to rendering in style, it's kind of the same, right? Like when it comes to rendering in style, my brain just goes. It just like it's like spinning a wheel of fortune. Like you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get. Sometimes it's like rolling a weighted die, because I can force myself into a more like a specific stylism, especially if I'm doing like a challenge. Like I want to do some more cartoony, then I'll go for a more cartoonistic style. I've got a couple of those rattling up here. But then again, I usually go with my own style, which is what we're doing here. This is my own style of kind of stuff, which is really fun to do. Because again, it's unique in its own right, I guess. And it looks, it's a refined practice. I've been doing this for fucking ages, so yeah. Oh, I finally got to a certain level right as well. I always kind of. It's weird. I always like. I don't know if there's probably this like a couple people in every person's school or like the college or whatever. Like at some point, right? There's always that like one person in sort of kind of your art class that you feel like you're massively outdone by. Like they're doing like fucking giant still life paintings of people, and they're like really fucking detailed and stuff like that. And yeah, and it's like. Whoa, and they're like so good, and you just feel like shit. yeah, that happened. Um, and I just constantly felt discouraged. And like I would draw creatures and shit, but they would also just fucking look. But I look back on my style. I don't want to call it shit because I'm like, this is the thing, right? And I think this is the case for a lot of artists and also just a lot of people in general. Is everybody is their own biggest critic. Um, well, yes, there is people that like criticize stuff. Everybody is their own biggest critic, and that is the problem I have or used to have with my art. The way I've gotten around that right is that when it comes to drawing, I either draw either straight without sketch on digital, or when it comes to drawing a paper, I draw straight with pen, which means every quote unquote mistake I make, I just add into the drawing. Like I just try to like think positively about the whole thing in a way that doesn't take away from the piece. I also know now where to stop because there is such a thing as adding too much. But again, it really depends on the subject and medium you're going for. Like if you're doing abstract, it could be very emotional heavy, so it could be a lot of layered stuff. On digital, it kind of differs again between person, like how much you want to add, how much you don't want to add. Some people are very kind of like minimalistic, others are very stylistic. It's yeah, and that's the great thing about art. It's very kind of like specific to a person as well, which is what I love. Um, yeah. Are we still good for? Gotta check the music every now and then that we're not like breaking into an ad or anything, because I will get copyrighted, and that's not what I want. Yeah, this thing is looking fucking wicked. I'm loving it so far. God, I can't wait to paint like again. I don't think you were here for this, but so this is my technical avatar persona like cross universe thing like for D&D and like for Minecraft. I actually have a Minecraft skin based off this. For D&D, for Minecraft, my avatar, for like cosplay and stuff, there is actually another character, D&D, more D&D based, but also possibly Minecraft lore based, that where this character dies, they're sort of like reincarnated into this next character, which is based on an Old Norse word, which actually is a reference to my name in real life. So yes. The problem is you don't need to complete. And this is the thing, right? Like, the problem is, it's what happens to people being supportive of each other's art, right? There is so much kind of competition between like, look at this artist's art compared to my art, and I think the problem is it's modern artistic movements as well, right? Not movements, but like modern art. It's strange and it's almost surreal in the way that it is. Like, but then like even stuff like this, like this stuff I'm doing now, you'll get people comparing art to others, and then the problem is you'll also compare your own art to other people's. And again, like as you said, and branching off it a bit as well, is that the problem is right is that so many people look at other art and feel discouraged because they're like, I'm never gonna be able to draw like that, or like, what's the point of posting my art if their stuff looks like that, or they're like getting this many likes and stuff. Which is why I with social media I actually have likes and follows, and I like everyone else's stuff I haven't turned off because it it's a bit of annoyance. Like it's like if I see like, I don't know how to say this. How do I say this? Like it's discouraging basically. Like because sometimes I used to be like, why should I even post this? Because it's not going to get seen. But the thing is, you have to realize is that your art is unique to you. Like, while yes, there is so many people doing these amazing pieces of art that are like so incredibly highly detailed and so incredibly like this, the chances are there's a lot of people doing that same thing. Whereas you doing art unique to yourself, like either teaching yourself or gathering references yourself or learning your own style, or even if you don't have a style, which I definitely don't at this minute, like this is like a generic thing I go for, right? This isn't my style. I draw with that reference, but every time I render something, it looks completely different, which is weird. But yeah, it's a bit discovery, but you've also got to be like positive about it. And yes, you are going to get art block. There are going to be times where you don't know what to draw and you feel like nothing's working. But the best way to get through that, to be honest, is just fucking doodle on paper. Just draw random shit. That's how I get through my art block. Again, it's different for each people, but yeah. Don't feel discouraged by other artists. Be supportive of other artists is what you need to be. Be supportive of yourself as well. And I think that goes for most things. It's not just art as well. Like a lot of stuff. Like just because anything social media-y, I guess. Like don't be discouraged by other people. I think there's I don't know who it's by, there is a quote, which is, I think it's, fuck, I've forgotten. What is it? It's don't try to be the best of what someone else is, no. Don't try be the best of something else. No, but don't try be the best at doing something else. Be the best at doing what you do. I think this is close enough to what the quote is. I don't know who it's by, but it's pretty yeah, that is true. To be it's a good art block release, drawing old stuff and just like reinvigorating that sort of passion, and I guess also just like. I guess trying new stuff as well. I think that sometimes I get into art block because I'm doing repetitive stuff. I am someone who kind of ADHD kind of plays into this a bit, I guess. I'm someone who kind of needs to kind of like do new art pieces every now and then. So that's something I've started doing is actually drawing into photos like in digital, like adding characters into them, adding like overhead flying dragons and there's that. And sometimes like I love fantasy. I fucking love fantasy. I love drawing fantasy and stuff like that. But sometimes I just feel like I need to step away from it. Sometimes I'll do like more realism stuff or techie stuff or sort of like Ghibli sort of little characters. And it just it's just such like a big help. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what is it? Who's fucking? Okay, I can't remember what the fucking people's names are, but it's think not about what you could have done, but what about what you're going to do next, basically. Again, that kind of does apply to all things, not just art, but don't fixate on the past. What are you going to do next, pretty much? And that doesn't mean like stack a load of things up. Like in that moment, what are you going to do next? Because I fucking procrastinate like a shit ton, like stupid amounts. And I always get myself like worked up with pieces. I'm like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, and this piece is building up, and it's really building up, and it's really making me feel like shit. And then I'm just, again, I just get like a clarity wave of like, right, I'm gonna fucking sit down. I'm gonna write a list of stuff. I'm gonna tick it off as I go, and then yeah, it's just gonna do. It's gonna do it like that. Oh, the music stopped. It's still going. Cool. Here we go. Yes, I think this is the best thing about IRL/RE streams as well, is we get into some deep conversations. Topics that I never really talk about on, I guess, gaming, to be honest. That's why I want to do more IRL type stuff. Or to be honest, I might just start doing just chatting videos, or just like a little chat IRL every now and then, like while we're doing cosplay making. It's a good way to kind of, well, like both vent stuff and also just, I guess, a bit of a reset. That makes sense. anyway, I think this thing is looking wicked. Kind of feels a bit buggy. Yeah, but just like imagine this, but all over this thing over here. All over this thing, but all like this. This is gonna look fucking epic. But with like pink magic-y bits around it. Sorry, I just went quiet for a bit. I've just got a fucking huge ass smile on my face while drawing this. Again, I'm loving every second of how this is turning out. Again, I was both nervous and excited for this because I did not have any idea how this was going to go, but it is going better than I ever could have expected, which is fucking awesome. And there we go, cool. Right, that is basically the majority of the headpiece down. Doesn't take long at all. Does that look good? That does look good on stream as well. My screen's gone a bit darker because, I haven't got night mode on, but I've got auto kind of light alterations, so it doesn't fuck up my eyes. But yeah, that looks good for you guys too. Damn. I am liking this. If we just maybe add like a tiny bit of weenie. This is going to be a bit lighter opacity because it's right on the verge, which means this doesn't actually need to have black on it. But it's going to add a tiny weeny bit of kind of black up front, although there is no kind of dark energy meant to be leaking from this bit. Kind of just precedes the pattern. And again, we can do is grab from this and go like this. And grab this and this. Oh, shit. There we go, cool. trying to look for any other overlap where this needs to be enacted, because basically this sort of black pattern isn't just shadows, it's meant to be like energy leaking out. And I've just spotted one. There's one up here actually as well. I don't know why that's been so late. Here we go. Yeah, just sorting here. That's a little crack, so that doesn't need anything up there. This little thing here. This thing is just a crack, so it doesn't need any adjustments. There we go, cool. Oh, hello, 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 hello. Yes, we're doing arts. Art stream. Hello, welcome in. Oof, this is looking wicked. Ugh. Damn. This actually looks really cool. I wasn't expecting to get this far in. It looks so good. Oh, again, I can't wait to like put this stuff on all the rest of these down the bottom. Oh, this looks wicked. I might do a stream in 2 parts. What we're gonna do is all of the shadows today, and then I will do all the gold tomorrow, because we have time. Yes, we are gonna do some Minecraft streams, stuff like that. But we'll do all the dark stuff today. We'll do the gold stuff tomorrow, or even because I've got gym in a bit. What we're gonna do is maybe do the dark box now. Go to the gym, let the laptop charge and cool down because it's heating up a bit, and then we'll come back and do all the gold bits in the afternoon. Just get it all done today. Why not? Ooh, right. I'm just trying to figure out where are we going next. Ooh. I see some overlay. Let's go. Hell yeah. Let me grab these brushes. Oh. So glad I got Krita working again. Being a pain in the ass this morning. Oh, to be honest, the stream would have been possible without it. So yeah, just very happy that it is working. Here as well. Actually, wait, what is that? It's under. Oh yeah, that works. Because technically these are kind of. These are more shadows and everything. But this does kind of work under here. Hello, darling. this is turning out. Yeah. This might just become a thing, to be honest. I genuinely think I might just do art every Sunday. I mean, we've got nothing else going on Sundays because, like, the rest of the days of the week are kind of booked in with other games. So yeah, Sunday might just be my arty day. It could either be like lore stuff like this, where we do character things, or it could just be like certain other things. It might not always be digital stuff as well. I could do like some hand drawn stuff. Could do some watercolors. Yeah. Sundays could be my art days. Because again, something I want to do quite a lot this year is show you lot my arty sort of side and potential, because it's going to be taking place or rooting its place quite a lot in some of the videos and VODs we're going to be doing this year. So, ooh, exciting, I know. Yeah, that makes it a bit less flat. It kind of differentiates this horn on the front from the horn on the background. It kind of lifts it up a bit. Still feels a bit flat, but that's fine. Maybe there's some shadows on the bottom. Kind of a bit more of a 3D stance. And again, we just grab this purple back, and all we do is just differentiate some of this back down into itself. Because a lot of this is just going to stay this sort of purple colour. The whole thing with this is literally just shadows and gold. That's all we're actually going to be doing to this piece. Is shadows and gold. Because again, this whole armor, it's meant to be like organic, but also sort of slightly metallic scales, trimmed with gold. That's what this is. It's a possessed armor variant of a warforged, inhabited by sentient smoke, emulated from 4 sort of amethyst orbs. But it's possessed armor that's pretending to be a tiefling. So yeah, kind of cool. And again, I've got lore for this character, so there is a possibility that next Sunday we come along, we might be animating. Ooh. Could be interesting, hey? I've got a friend who does art as well, so I might start getting involved with them on some stuff too. Could help them do some animation cleanup. Right, let's see how we're going to do this then. So the gold, you can actually see where I'm planning to put the gold because of these trim lines around the edges. A bit like armature in Minecraft. But then, yeah, you can kind of see where the shadows are meant to go. So what we're going to do is grab some dark purples, like we were before, and just sort of start to lay these in. Now, these ones are very angular, which means we're not going to curve the shadows up so much. We're more going to kind of lay them here and there. And these shadows are going to go on both sides, emulating the fact that there is darkness behind these horns. Instead of kind of the light. So the way this light is working on this piece essentially is these shadows aren't shadows, they're dark energy leaking out, but they look like shadows because this thing doesn't. The entity inside this armor kind of like bends light around it in a way. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna get my charger because my laptop's about to die. So yeah, as I was saying, though, it looks as though... Fuck, I nearly fell out. Sure. Though it looks as though these bits up here, between like the scales that you can see, though it looks like these are basically shadows, they're actually sort of dark energy leaking out of the armor because it bends light around itself because light hurts it essentially. It's one of its weaknesses. It has a weakness to light. Because it's essentially like a solid living shadow, pretty much. Um, Not so much like a void person, but like it's a weird little sort of thought. Um, and so instead of having light hit them, which is why again we can actually add lore to the drawing itself, which is why they don't have highlights in this drawing, and it's just pure darkness on the edges, is maybe because they bend light around them, and when light hits them, even if it's just on their armor outer plating, it actually still does hurt them in some way, shape, or form. And so, as you can see, there's only shadows on the edges where this sort of darker energy might be leaking out from, which we can dull down in a bit because it's a bit strong. But yeah, I'm liking how this is turned out. And again, it's literally just the gold after this as well, which in my mind is what's holding this together. Maybe, well, yes, this is some sort of like organic armor that's also somewhat metallic. It's the gold imprints on this armor that is somewhat magically binding this sort of living shadow or this smoke entity within it. And while the gold doesn't look like magic itself, there are runes over the body of this thing too. So maybe the gold itself is imbued with magic. Maybe it's not gold at all. Maybe it is something. I don't know. What looks like gold but isn't gold? Maybe it's Cloudium. Or maybe it's what's the orange gemstone called? It was like molten. Maybe it's molten like sunlight ore. Oh, brass. Yes. I'm trying to think. Like, what is there in the? Is there one that's like looks like gold, but maybe like conducts light in a way? Or electrum. That could be interesting. Maybe it's like a mix of maybe brass and electrum, and maybe they conduct like a certain electricity which could be, I guess, seen as light in a way that contains this sort of shadowed force within, so that it doesn't either like sort of dissipate or be killed or leak out or kind of just spill into a puddle, which seems slightly more comical and I think a bit more funny. Imagine it just turn into a puddle if the gold like disappears off their armor. But I imagine it's like a permanent fixture that maybe possibly can be removed with some magic, but again, it has consequences to the character. So maybe when they get damaged in battle, they don't physically take damage like another being would, because they've made of like roboticism and magic. But maybe when they get damaged in battle, or some kind of fight, it's actually the gold in their armor that gets damaged. It's like they've got veins, but on the outside instead of the inside, except they're magical because they're not fully organic. Oh. Right, now to attack this bit down here. I'm not really sure how to do the faceplates. We're going to have a go. Now, I imagine it technically should just look a bit like the scales down the bottom we've got over here. Because this, again, is just a slit where the sort of like dark energy is spilling out. but this is where the eyes are going to go, both here. So if we're going to have an eye here and an eye down here as well, and then the mouth, as I said, if you were here for the start, actually is down here. Why can't I draw? The mouth is actually down here. It goes underneath the mask, where the teeth sort of like open up and the mouth sort of splits apart, which is why you've got these mandibles here. So I'd like to imagine that maybe like this top bit here, this splits apart like outwards, like towards you and me, and the other way, and then there's teeth in the neck. Or maybe not teeth, and maybe it's just like a hole that they suck in, because again, it's more like a living shadow inside. So maybe they don't need to eat. Maybe they only drink. Law thing. Maybe they can't eat solid materials. It smells like farts, but it's looking quite dangerous. So maybe like they can suck sulfur in to like clear the air.
How did they make it through?
There is a problem. If the gold is damaged instead when the runes are damaged.
Existing. How do they live their lives without posting
Ooh.
about it? How did
That
they
is a
live
good point.
their lives?
Well, I guess I'd have like a cleric or something in my team. Or who are the generic healers? I can't remember. It is clerics, right? Who heal? Oh shit! There's a man playing. Sorry, I didn't mean to fuck. Oh no, that's copyright. That's not a copyright. Okay, sorry. I had to just check the music real quick. I think clerics are usually healers in D&D. I think there is also like regenerative qualities. Again, so this both acts in D&D. This character acts both in D&D and outside of D&D. Outside of D&D, I'd say that maybe they can like cast the runes to the certain part of the body where the gold has been damaged, and over a course of about 5 to 10 minutes heal that. But it does put them in a vulnerable state while they're healing. So they do have some kind of regenerative quality, but it's limited by time. Because I don't want to make this thing like stupidly overpowered. Again, that's probably not abiding by the D&D terms. Yeah, so clerics are usually the healers. But outside of D&D, like just in like an own universe sort of scape, then yeah, they would cast those runes to like the certain part of their body, especially the ones that are the letter H or A, and then they would kind of cast it like along their body, but like a tattoo, like sliding up their arm. He's a walker. Yes. But no, this so the runes like sliding up the arms. That would be like outside of D&D stuff. But what I'm saying is like if I was playing a game D&D, I guess like a cleric or something would be able to heal me, or I guess yeah, you'd have like a cleric or something heal me in D&D, because this is like the stuff I was describing the runes. It's like outside of D&D universe. It's just like an own personal perspective. And I guess to be honest, I haven't really thought about the class for this thing. So it is Warforged pretending to be a tiefling, but I didn't really think about that is. I think I put Warlock on the D&D sheet. We can actually look this up real quick. Because I can share my screen with you guys. Is it D&D Beyond, isn't it? Here we go. D&D Beyond. Here we go. If I just look at my characters real quick, if I log in. Hello, it's me. Right. Yeah, I can just show you guys the character sheet I made a couple times ago. Where the fuck is my characters? Aha, characters. Here we go. Build a character, and then if I go to my characters, my characters 3 of 6 use. Is it Shadra? I think it's Shadra, right? View. Yeah, because it's the. Yeah, I put Warlock. Yeah. I put Warlock in. Oh no! Wait, no, because then that does agree with what you're saying. Ah, okay. Sorry, I read what you were typing wrong. Yes, because my character's a warlock. Technically, they would. I guess they would be able to. I don't know if that's like too overpowered or allowed in DD. It kind of depends on what a dungeon master allows. We are kind of like homebrewing this in a way, because some other people are going to be using like some strange characters as well, which is fine. And I think we're not going to set it in the classic D&D landscape that you get given. I think we're going to make like not make our own map, but like we're not going to base it. I think in fantasy, it's more going to be kind of you're still going to have all like the D&D characters, but like in like a different sense of nature. So less like medieval, but maybe combining bits of like urban society. It's going to be strange. So what if the idea is that you must all feeds on something special that you can supplement with English? Ooh.
Got plans? Cancel them. Sky Sports big weekend is here. Upgrade to Sky Sports now for only £22 extra a month.
So metal that kind of. Or maybe it's. Ooh. What if it's not the thing inside this thing that's living? Maybe it's the gold that's possessing the armor. Maybe it's this gold sort of electricity that is possessing the armor, and that's what I'm at. It's the gold sort of entity that's possessing the armor, trapping, but unknowingly there's something inside it still. And then like, feel like the gold. I think I have character. I think I had where? There we go. If I go to attacks, what do we have as actions as well? I don't know. Again, I'll have to see because the DM we're playing again is a friend from uni, so they're pretty like free going and stuff. But they do have full sets. Yeah. Technically, this will be my first time actually playing DD. The thing is, right, I know how to play. I have characters for it, including this one. There I have more I actually haven't drawn. I understand how it works, and I have actual die. I've made die as well. I've just never had the fortune of playing. So, yeah. Symbiotic relationship. Ooh. So maybe I do play as the armor, or the thing that's inside the armor. Right, but then like the gold is like oh, so maybe it's not like a curse that's binding the armor together. Maybe it's a, as you said, a symbiotic kind of magical liquid gold thing that has bound itself to the armor to allow me to be able to move around. But maybe, yeah, it also acts as like an exoskeleton, but like veins instead, and then that way when it gets damaged, I get damaged because we're tethered to each other. Parasite could be interesting, you know. Ooh. That's the thing, do I make it voluntary or involuntary? Maybe I could have it be... Maybe it could be, because obviously, like, the characters can have like fucking amnesia when they wake up. They're not going to remember anything. They don't know who they are. They try to pretend to be a tiefling slash dragonborn. So maybe what it could be is that they don't realize the thing is on there at first, but when they get struck and they realize that the gold on their body is being like sliced or cut, it really fucking hurts them. And they try to like take it off, and it's like the most pain they've ever felt, which is weird because they shouldn't feel pain because they're not organic. So maybe it's parasitical at first, but over, I guess, character development as stuff goes on, maybe it becomes more of a symbiosis as time goes on instead of a parasitic relationship. Because maybe there's abilities like, as you said, maybe the gold can like absorb certain things, or maybe it can like mimic certain things. And then maybe the gold is actually what allows the runes to move across the body to allow this character to pull the sword from their chest or the weapons from their body, using extensions of both themselves paired with the symbiotic but also parasitic nature of this sort of golden organism, which binds this sort of shadowy extension of the character into a solid object instead of letting it sort of like fall apart. The gold is like kind of what holds stuff together, both in a literal sense and a physiological sense. God, I love it when I fucking just go on and ramble. Oh, especially when it's fantasy stuff. Again, it comes with so interesting laws. And this is the best thing as well. Like, having people to talk to about law and like, discussing stuff is fucking awesome. You get ideas like this. And the thing is, I never would have thought of this by myself. So, oh, it's wicked. It's fucking awesome. Oh. Again, while some of this, again, yes, it might not be, it might not be able to do in D&D. Again, a lot of this I think I say this about Warframe too. If you guys have got suggestions about stuff, like stuff I should be doing, or tips and tricks, but I probably will say it's about art as well. Yeah, if you guys have got things that you would be think would be interesting about like the characters I'm creating, please do suggest them because there's a way that I could tie them in. So if you just feed it survive, and then you feed it something special, make it stronger, and now you've got something. Ooh. So maybe this like maybe this parasitic but term sort of like symbiotic golden sort of thing, maybe it is able to kind of reactivate something of what I guess would be a brain for an inorganic organism, in a way that is helping compact us together, but it's fractured in a way, which is why maybe they have a split personality, because they see this older version of themselves being very kind of soldiery, very kind of brutal and violent, and maybe like part of that brutal violent force was that they could have some sort of like animal sort of mode within them that kind of makes them go a bit like feral, and they can like ultra like violence mode or something like that. But maybe sometimes, ooh, that could be interesting. Or maybe instead of having that be a case of PTSD, what if they get this kind of animalistic sort of feral beast mode from the gold? Ooh, maybe. You got trapped. Yes. I do very much love the idea of balance as well. Balance is a big thing for me, I guess. In a lot of stuff. If I think about it, it's most balance is the way I sort of like think about physiology and just in terms of life as well. It's a good psychology to live by. Again, obviously people have different stuff, but the balance is kind of the way I cope with stuff, to be honest. Like, if I'm having a really shit week, I know that something good is eventually going to come out of it. Or if I having a really good week. I know that something shit is around the bend, so I can kind of prepare myself for it. And that's generally how stuff goes. For everything, there is an equal and opposite reaction, and therefore balance exists in all things. Is the music still playing? I think it just stopped, right? Yeah. Yes, yes. If I lose it, I collapse into a puddle. And maybe that character dies eventually. Maybe over time, all of this gold gets removed. And eventually I think to myself, yes, you have been fun to play around with, and yes, you have been good to me, but you're still a parasite. I eventually pluck off the oldest gold piece. And maybe I do turn into a puddle, or maybe I like melt like the witch in Wizard of Oz or something like that. And then maybe a reincarnate can be something that's born out of light this time instead of the darker part. And then, or maybe the bit of gold that was plucked off last, that binds with the stuff that melted away. And so now you have this newer form, which is a pure yellow armor, or a pure sort of yellow creature made of possibly gold or electrum. I haven't really thought. Again, it's a character I want to do. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I imagine their face just being an eye, not like the letter, like an eye, like a flaming eyeball. Not like Sauron, but like literally an eyeball, but with fire. It's kind of what I see this does. It is a total possibility as well that we do actually film some of this deed that I play over the summer with friends. And again, there is possibility as well, as I said, for animations too. And it's a possibility that I animate some of the D&D stuff too, like how the story goes and stuff like that. Fuck me, this looks awesome. I did not think it would look this good. Well, this is going on socials. Fuck me. I did not expect myself to be able to do this. This is wicked. Oh, see that? Yeah, just again, imagine this, but all of these. Fucking wicked. And we've even like excelled this style over to here in a way that I couldn't predict as well. It looks fucking crazy. Like a good way. And this, to be honest, this is what I hoped as well will come out of this stream, is that we create lore for this character. So I was really hoping this stream would come about it's gonna house, because this whole thing is basically just one big brainstorm. Yeah.
At heart, Windows is built to reimagine
Just,
the
ooh,
classroom.
that's an ad.
For
That's
you
an ad.
and the
That's an ad.
organization you
Shut
lead,
up. No.
security built
Stop.
in,
I'm gonna cover it.
not
Okay. I'm adding highlights just as a test, because I don't know if I want to definitely keep them. But they kind of look alright. I don't take it the whole way from the whole beat. And again, it kind of like adds that bending light around it, kind of physiology. Now, let's do this way. Does it keep dropping? It's a bit strange. Right, we're going to try to put some of this gold in. So change my mind. We're going to do the gold and the shadows by piece, because otherwise I'm going to forget how to do it. And then we can, again, use this stream as a reference, well, not a reference, but as a guide for how to do the next the next few underneath this. Because, again, the best part about this is I'm filming it, which means I can watch it back. You know what the best part about this is? I didn't have to use AI for a bit of it. It's the crazy thing, right? You can make art without AI. Oh my god, it's crazy. Fucking people calling themselves artists using AI. It just doesn't. I don't even fucking get me started, because I will go on a proper fucking rant. To be honest, this gold, I don't even think we need to kind of like add highlights or darker tones, because the colour that I've got here, just the way we're adding it as well, which isn't like a full kind of branch, is actually fine. Because it's slightly dulled as well, it kind of fits with the rest of the... And then where we go over it, it kind of like sits... Just trying to mimic the lines on my mask that I've got to my left.
How did they do it?
I think I also like the fact that they're not
Older
like
times.
directly against
How did they make
the
it
edges,
through?
they're sort of out of
They weren't
unison.
dead,
It kind of adds a bit of a,
just existed.
like a better
How do they live their
thing
lives
to this, the fact that they're not
without
so uniform.
posting about
It makes it feel
How did they
aged and
know
like
they
older
liked something if the thing
and kind of
looked
slightly
like
war-torn in a way.
hadn't really gotten any likes?
And maybe we even
How
start
did
to
they
see
know
some of those
what to
gold
think,
separations
what
already
to
like up the
wear,
top here,
who
where they've
to
been
love?
damaged
How did they
already.
know who they were without the rest of the world telling them?
Okay, cool. Good timing, to be honest. I think we're done. Yep, with this first piece, I think, honestly, with that, I think we're done. With this very first kind of piece of this whole drawing, I think we're done. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, morning, night, day, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving me ideas for lore as well. And just like the general positivity. Yeah, this has turned out better than I could have hoped for. So wicked. Like I said, I might be about again today to do more of this, or I could be about tomorrow or throughout the next week. We'll have to see. If I'm not, you'll probably see me tomorrow for Minecraft over on Twitch doing a massive project where we're basically building a starter base for a Minecraft series. We're filming at the minute. My socials links over here, which I'm actually going to post this thing, so you'll see it in better quality. And I'm going to start posting cosplay stuff over there too. So yeah, have a good one. I'm going to time bust this until we've done the past and any other games that we've played. Aside from Minecraft, like Warframe and Assassin's Creed and Limbo and Superliminal, and I believe we did. What else have we done? I don't know. I think we did Fall Guys at some point as well. So yeah, if you want to check out, feel free. But anyway, have a good one. See you all soon, and goodbye. Shit, there's an ad playing. God damn it, it's gonna get muted, isn't it? God damn it. Why can't I just have YouTube without ads?